Hello, this is Stan Dubin, and welcome to the Hiring Tips Podcast. The name of this tip is Asking Weird Questions. I recently read an article about asking candidates weird questions. One example is asking a person to define a completely made-up word. For example, discomfortable. I made that one up. And degasorific. I made that one up as well. I think the viewpoint here is to see how the candidate reacts. Will she think about it for a while and try to come up with some kind of definition? Or will she simply say, I'm not familiar with that word? Another example is a math question that has a really obvious answer. If a person has 3 apples and they cost a total of $3, how much is each apple? Of course, the answer there is 50 cents. Okay, now I did that just to see if you were paying attention. Yes, the answer is $1 each. Again, the idea may be to see how the applicant deals with something a bit out of the ordinary. Will he take a long time trying to figure it out, seeing if it's maybe a trick question, or will he give you a fairly quick and correct answer? Here's another question that isn't asked every day. If you could have one superpower, what would that be? Now that could produce some interesting answers. So, are these types of questions valuable? Will they yield information that you can use? Well, I think you can gain an insight into your applicant to see how he addresses something out of the ordinary. Will he be flustered or simply think it over and give an answer? I also do like the occasional disarming question, especially if the applicant has rehearsed answering the usual interview questions. All in all, it just comes down to learning as much as you can about someone before you hire them. That will always be in your favor. Thank you for listening. If you're enjoying this podcast, and if you're getting something valuable from it, could you take a minute or two and go over to iTunes and leave us a review? Also, feel free to subscribe to the podcast. They show 50 different shows at any given time, but when you subscribe, you'll find that there's well over 100 shows. And each one of those is a valuable tip that will help you make better hiring decisions. When you're over at iTunes, you can simply enter into the search area there the phrase hiring tips, and then it'll take you to the podcast right away. The Hiring Tips is brought to you by the Employee Testing Center. We have an employee testing service that will help you hire better staff. It's very accurate, easy to understand, and delightfully affordable. Watch our 3-minute video at getbetterstaff.com. That's getbetterstaff.com. Our podcast does not represent legal advice. Employment law can vary from state to state. So please consult an attorney familiar with the law that applies to the area where your business is located for any legal questions specific to your company.